Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kaz and I'm a channeler and a healer. In today's video we're going to be channeling Michaelangelo. Now when I sat down to think of topics, he popped into my brain, so he wants to come through with some messages for us, which is wonderful. We are going to do some group messages and I will use the pyrite for that. After that we will separate out the messages into crystal 1, crystal 2 or crystal 3. So you can make your selection now or a little bit later, but we will go straight into the group messages. So Michaelangelo, what would you like us to know? Okay, he's saying that he made great feats of engineering and sculpture during his lifetime, and it is accepted that he is a genius, and he said he was quite exalted in that lifetime, but he was also very politically pressured and didn't have the freedom that he would have loved to have. So he's comparing himself to artists of today who have creative freedom over what they choose to do, mostly, unless they're working with a large organisation. And he's pointing me to songwriters and people in the music industry here. But he's saying that there is a little bit more creative license these days than what he had. So he was directed with a lot of his works, with what people wanted. He did have some creative license, but he had to be a little bit circumspect with what he did. And he did say that he has put hidden messages into some of his works, which I don't know whether that is known or not, but yeah, I don't know if that's new news or not. I try not to delve too deeply into people when I'm about to channel them because I don't want to cloud any messages. Okay, he's also saying that use your creative license wisely and create what you want to create. So if you're an artist and you're commissioning works for other people, then obviously you're using their ideas too and you're using your creative license to do it. But he also wants people to really dig into themselves and create from deep within, and not just what's popular at the moment. Because he said there are a lot of very valuable works residing within people, but people are either too scared or worried about it not being marketable. And he says a great work will be marketable regardless of how you do it or when you do it. So fashions change is what he's saying. And if you think that what you really want to create doesn't fit in with today's fashion, he said maybe in 50 years it will be fashionable. So he wants people to express their true inner creative spirit, and everyone's got one. Not everyone's going to be an artist and not everyone's going to be a sculptor. But what he's saying is everyone has a spark of creativity, and to use it every day, it's really important. It's such a big part of the human spirit, and it can bring such joy. And now I'm seeing like woodworking and metalworking, and I'm seeing people fixing engines, and I'm seeing sewing. So there's a whole scope of creative endeavours that can be employed to actually boost your spirit and boost how you feel. He's also showing me computer work as well, and creativity, digital creativity. So even in everyone's working lives, they can find a creative outlet. And it's really important to how you go through the world. Often when people's creativity is stifled, he's showing me like droopy people, like their moods drop. So let's just say that you've got a very frantic lifestyle and you don't have time to be creative. That drags your spirit down. So I'm just going to see what else he would like to say here. No, that's it. Very succinct. He has lived quite a few lifetimes since his lifetime as Michaelangelo, in our chronological years he's talking about, not concurrently. He's saying that he's always had wealth, but he's never appreciated it. So from what I gather, he was alive path 8 as Michaelangelo, but he didn't really live as a wealthy person, even though he had wealth. So he is talking about prosperity and creativity, and saying that not every piece of art is going to create wealth, but every piece of art is wealthy in its own right. Oh, that's a really lovely thing to end on there. Okay, so you can go to your crystal. I will put the timestamps in the description below and also in the video chapters. So I'll see you at your reading. Crystal 1, welcome to your reading. I'm just going to pick up your crystal here and we'll see what Michaelangelo has for you. Okay, you are a natural group of creatives here. You really do like to create things. You probably actively do it a lot within your life. And it might not just be one thing. You might have several things on the go. And there's something about the way your brain is wired that you have a greater creative capacity than the average person. So you may also not be so much hands-on creative. You may also have creative ideas and creative ways of looking at the world, creative solutions to things. So it's like this is inbuilt within you, and Michaelangelo says use it, and again, use it wisely. He's always on about the use it wisely. So he wants you to start taking note of your creative ideas, because there may be some things you've forgotten. So he's showing me a book, and he's actually showing me a ledger with a quill, but what he's saying is keep a note of your creative ideas, because one of them is going to chime such a big bell with other people. And to you it may just seem like another creative idea, but for the world at large it's going to be quite significant. So write them down or jot them into your phone, whatever you do. Do a voice memo, whatever it happens to be, because one of these ideas is going to hit the jackpot. And now he's showing me like a mad professor. He's got all these pots boiling and he's doing little experiments to see what works and what doesn't. So it may be that you don't hit on the most marketable creative idea first. You may do a few little things first and then hit on... He's showing me like a exact tone, like a chiming thing, an exact tone that resonates with what the rest of the world want. He did use his intuition when he was working very strongly. It was never talked about. It was talked about more like the Spirit of God has inspired me, because, you know, he was a very devout Catholic and he was within the very strong Catholic realm, but he did get divine inspiration. He did get his intuition. So ultimately it was a spark of God, but he wasn't allowed to talk about it in the way of intuition. It was guided by God, is what he had to say. There's a particular creative pursuit that you're into at the moment, and I feel that this is going to morph into something else, and you might even hybridize something. I can't even give you an example of this. Maybe sculpting with wood, and I know that people do sculpt with wood, but I'm just trying to give you an example where originally sculpting was with, you know, rocks or marble, and you know, maybe people later on did wood, something like that, where you're going to almost hybridize two things in your creativity. Now, this may not be anything people have seen for many, many years. Maybe you're reviving something that is a lost art. He's bringing me back to the introduction where things go in and out of fashion but don't worry about it. So maybe you're bringing back, I don't know, hobby text from the 70s or something. But it's going to really strike a chord with people. And I'm actually seeing like a slowing down. So we do live in a fast-paced world, and sometimes those slower creative pursuits really help calm our nervous system down and bring us back down. And maybe you're going to film yourself doing it or something like that, and people are going to watch and they start to feel calm. So it might be something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure. It might be different for all of you. But there is certainly something creatively that you're going to bring to the world that is going to be celebrated. And it may just be locally within your own little community, or it may be on a larger scale. But keep on creating is what I'm getting there. Okay, Crystal 1, that was your reading. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Crystal 2, welcome to your reading. I'm just going to pick up your crystal here. Oh, I want to take a deep breath. I feel that you've really stifled your creativity. Let's see what Michaelangelo has to say about this, because I'm feeling it in my solar plexus. He's saying there's either responsibility or a sense of duty or an expectation that has really dampened your creative side. So it may be that you do like creative pursuits, but you're very busy with your career and your children and your family. And he's saying carve out time for creativity, because it will really, really lighten your spirits. Maybe you've been having a bit of a hard time. Like, I feel like even when I'm talking, I'm feeling a little bit sad here. So I feel like your creative side, that part of you that's very creative, is feeling sad because it's not being expressed. So Michaelangelo is saying that not everyone's forced into servitude these days, and there is a lot more freedom, but we don't appreciate it. We don't appreciate our creative expression and the freedom to talk about our creative expression. In this group, I'm getting that you put your creative pursuits to the side to give priority to other things. And Michaelangelo is saying it's making you quite unhappy. There's a part of you that's not satisfied, and it's your creative side. So even if you haven't actually created anything since you were in primary school or high school, they're asking you to just create something. It can be anything. Like I'm seeing boys on their BMXs creating ramps so that they can go over it. So it doesn't always have to be a sedentary pursuit. It can be something that's very physical. It's almost like, with this group, Michaelangelo is saying that creative pursuits may seem frivolous, but it's a part of life. We are intrinsically creative. So don't prioritise other things over it. When you get the urge to do something creative, do it. Heed the call and listen. Because you've been called plenty of times, but you might have said, oh no, I've got to do this first, I've got to do that first, and oh no, I just can't drop what I'm doing and you know, do that. He wants you just to give yourself grace and pursue what you want to pursue, because it's really important for your soul. Okay, Crystal 2, I hope you enjoyed that. Please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Crystal 3, welcome to your reading. I'm just going to pick up the crystal and see what Michaelangelo has for you. Oh, I'm getting the term dark creative, so I'm not quite sure what that means. Can you explain that, Michaelangelo, please? Okay, he's saying that some of your creations might have darker aspects, and it's almost like your shadow side is expressing itself through your creative pursuits, so whatever they happen to be. And it's important for you because your shadow side is being heard. Now, we all have a shadow side and we all have a light side, and we can't just eliminate the shadow side. It's a matter of integration, and your creative pursuits actually help with that integration. Now, other people may see it as really, really grim or really, really dark, and it makes them uncomfortable because it stirs up their shadow side, and their shadow side does not want to be known by them. So if it brings you comfort and enjoyment, you do it for you. As long as it's not hurting anyone, you're doing it for you. And he's showing me like frescoes that were quite dark as well, where people were slaughtered and, you know, things like that. So he's saying that this has gone on for millennia, is what he's saying, and he's showing me caveman drawings that, you know, there was that expression and that acknowledgement of the shadow side of man, and the pursuits that they had that did do harm to others, and it comes from the shadow side. So your inklings and your creativity comes from that side. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad or that it's wrong. It means it's expressing itself, and you are, as the artist or the creator, coming into touch with those parts of you that need to be expressed, but not maliciously out in the world, creatively. And I'm just being shown yin and yang. So there's that two parts of every being that is there. It's just yours comes out creatively. Other people's might come out in road rage or in violence. Yours comes out creatively, and it needs to be expressed. Now, if you didn't express it, it would come out in a violent way, maybe towards other people or maybe towards yourself. So it's, yeah, your way of expressing that. So if it doesn't resonate with you, there isn't another part to this group. It's just that the creative spark is a little bit darker than the sunshine and rainbows that other people might be expressing in their creative world. It might just be that you like really dark muted colours as well, and greys and blacks are more monochrome if you're working with colours. Yeah, I mean, I'm also getting like a shading of something here. Not that it's shady, there's a shading of colours. So that's maybe how you express yourself as well. Nothing else there. If you didn't like that message, or you don't feel it really resonated with you, maybe it's something that's going to come out in the future. Or maybe you do it and you don't realise it's your shadow side expressing itself. Okay, group 3, I hope you enjoyed that. Please give me a thumbs up and I will see you in my next reading.